Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Masafai, back with another video. Before I get started, I need you to give me the HBO special. That's the Help a Brother Out special by hitting that like, comment, subscribe, and share if you like the content. Today, I'm going to be, I'm still walking on this nice trail. Like I said, it's different and whatnot. Like I said, just exploring, doing my 12 miles, just trying to stay out the way of everybody, like I always do, and continue on the path of seeking my peace and whatnot. So shout out to everyone there. Today I'm going to be talking about growth, personal growth. Well, let's get to it. In my life, especially as of now in the last few years, I've been on a journey of growing myself. You know, we already are physically grown for the last 20 plus years. So you obviously get done growing physically unless you're getting wider, you know, therein lies me. I'm trying to grow slimmer, which is why I'm trying to lose weight. But overall, the primary growth that a lot of us need to do is mentally, spiritually, and all around grow yourself to just be an overall better person. And that's where I've been in my journey in the last, well, honestly, for a long time. It's just now I just really decided to focus and whatnot. And on your journey of growing, you will start to realize that you may gain new friends and you may lose old friends and whatnot. And that's fine, because the reason being, in some cases, when you start to grow and you start moving in the direction that you deem is more valuable in your life to yourself, and you be wanting the people around you to try to maneuver and move around in the same way. A lot of times that doesn't happen, and you end up getting pretty much a clash with your friends, or used to be friends, depending on how everything goes. So the direction I'm going in, I'm pretty sure majority of people around me is probably not moving in my path, and that's fine. You know, I've lost friends, I've gained new associates. Don't know if I can say friends, because friends very loose, because a lot of people who were considered your friend, a lot of times they weren't. They was just there holding the spot, utilizing opportunity and whatnot. And when you started growing in a direction that no longer benefited them, they, you know, they turned to who they truly were, and eventually the friendship fell apart. So I'm working on growing myself spiritually, mentally, getting better physically, getting better mentally, and I really don't have to talk about it to people to try to convince people that I'm growing or that I'm changing, because the thing is that when you are growing and when you are changing for the better, it will show. You won't have to say it. You don't got to try to convince anyone that you're growing or that you're changing. People around me have noticed the change in me, and I don't have to say it, because I'm actually putting forth the effort to try to be a better person, and it shows. But I've heard people sit there and say that, you know, they've outgrown other people. Like, when you can outgrow your friends, you know, because like I said, y'all go in different paths or whatever. But I've heard people say that they outgrew their friends, and I don't think that's the case, because I see certain people who, in my opinion, really haven't grown or changed anything. Good morning. Who really haven't grown or changed really anything in their lives at all, and yet they have to sit there and say that they are growing and changing. And I don't think that's the case at all. If anything, the opposite person is growing and changing, and you know, some people, they can't benefit off you, then they feel like you're useless to them, which is fine. You know, that's the user's mentality anyway. But overall, I'm working on growing. I quit smoking 2.5 years ago. I haven't drank alcoholic drink in over a year. I don't do any types of drugs at all. I don't do edibles. I don't do THC. I don't do marijuana. I don't do any type of drugs. And I go to therapy, trying to work out any and all past mental issues that I may have. And I constantly look in the mirror. Good morning.
Good morning.
I constantly look in the mirror and I evaluate myself daily. And I try to work on anything that I see as a flaw or an issue. And that, to me itself, shows that you're trying to grow to be a better person. You're trying to grow to change and whatever. Looking in the mirror, analyzing your flaws, analyzing where you go wrong, analyzing everything, critiquing yourself and others around you, definitely. But definitely being able to look in the mirror and critique yourself about everything in your life. Hey, how's it going? So that is a big part of growth. So you're able to look in the mirror and analyze yourself and see where you need to correct some things and see where you need to change, see where you need to do better at. And we have so many people who refuses to look in the mirror and do so. So overall, if you're able to look in the mirror, you can see where you probably need to improve on being a better parent. If you look in the mirror, you can see where you need to improve on probably being a better person. If you look in the mirror, you will see some of the things that actually hinders you and holds you back. If you look in the mirror, you can see whatever physical ailments that you don't like about yourself that you can work on improving and changing. If you look in the mirror, you can see everything that you possibly want to change. And as long as you have the discipline and the determination, then you can change them. But we have too many people in our community, in society, that refuses to look in the mirror and do a self-assessment, who refuses to look in the mirror to see what flaws that they have. They continue to look on the outside to see all the flaws of others and never critique or analyze themselves. Me, I'm critical of looking at everything around me, including the people. And I'm critical of looking at and judging things around me. But I'm also critical of looking in the mirror and judging myself far more harsh than I judge society and the people around me. So before you try to sit there and say that I'm too judgmental, look at the fact that I judge myself harshly far more than I judge everything around me first. Because I don't give people energy that I don't give myself. And that's how I look at the world. I continue to try to grow. I continue to work on myself daily. I continue to critique myself daily. And I work my tail off to make the necessary changes to better myself and try to feel better about myself. And you have majority of people who refuses to look in the mirror, who refuses to critique themselves, who refuses to realize that they have problems, they have flaws, and that they need to change as well. But they will sit there and look at and critique others and sit there and just try to say others need to change as opposed to ever looking in the mirror. It's that simple. So, good morning. So overall, personal growth is what I talk about in this particular video today. A lot of people need to do it. A lot of people are afraid to admit to themselves that they need to do it. And they just continue to accept whoever they are currently. And they just pretty much say it is what it is. And that's fine. But as long as you keep that mentality, you may not make it far in life as you possibly could if you just look in the mirror and make certain changes that will better you in the end. So it is what it is. You can hold yourself back from being a better version of you just because you want to be arrogant. You have a lot of people who are cocky, arrogant, and just flat out stubborn, and they won't change for anyone, and that's fine. Morning. And me, I'm working on being a better version of me. Me, I'm working on being peaceful to myself. Me, I'm working on having a better attitude for myself. Me, I'm working on not hating people. Me, I'm working on not communicating with people who don't have my best interests at heart as well. Because I'm working on having my best interests in heart for me, and as well as having the best interests in heart for the people who are around me as well, which is why I always have been critical of my friends. But we have a lot of friends who don't know how to take the advice and really analyze it and see if the advice that I give them will help. Instead, they take it as criticism, they take it as hating, and they take it negatively. And that's how friendships crumble. And it is what it is at this point. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm working on being a better version of me, and that's what I'm gonna continue to do. And just keep the people who are not willing to evolve themselves out of my life, because I don't want to be held back. I don't want to be misused. And I just don't want fakeness around me. And I've realized that throughout the years, the majority of my friends were never my friends. And that's a fact. I found out several things after friendships ended, just to realize that a lot of people around me never gave a shit about me to begin with. To realize a lot of people around me always thought that I was a hoe ass nigga, or whatever the case may be. Now I learned to live with that, and at the same time, get myself away from those people, disassociate myself with people who don't rock with me. So it is what it is at this point. I'm eliminating the fakeness from around me, and I hope y'all can do the same. This is me, Masify. Get rid of the fake people, continue to grow, be the best version of yourself, and don't ever let nobody stop you from bettering yourself. Don't ever let fake friends convince you that you're the problem. Do you, be you, better yourself, and if they can't rock with you for you being you, deuces. This is me, Masify. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Y'all have a great day. Peace.